Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome one, welcome all to SimSpeed TV one final time this year for Dirt Night. The Oceanic Dirt Sim Events Australian Sprintcar Championships have seen some fantastic action, incredible racing, big drama at just about every single round. And it all comes down to this. The 17th round, the Nero Power Wisconsin Duel from Cedar Lake Speedway. It's bringing to you live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch and Kick as per usual. I'm Reese Gardner, Jay Kennedy in the other commentator's chair next to me, and also in the producer's chair, occupying two positions at once in space and time. Jay, it's been a long season, but it doesn't feel like it. We were talking before we went live just how quickly this season's gone by.
Yeah, we've done 17 rounds and it's taken 32 weeks to get here, but it doesn't feel like it's taken the whole year. It's gone really, really fast. It feels like it was only a couple of weeks ago that we started this season, 17 rounds ago, or 16 rounds ago, and final round of the season now heads into Cedar Lake. One of the best tracks, I think, to finish the season off. I've always enjoyed the racing here. It's always been fantastic. Just on 3/8 of a mile, just over half a kilometre. It's not very big. Perfect for the 360s that we're racing tonight.
Yeah, indeed. Cedar Lake's one of our favourites. I still have great memories of the first races that we did here when it came out. Very difficult track, particularly in turns 1 and 2, because as you can see down the bottom right, pit lane entry and exit is in that vicinity. And the drivers, especially late in the feature, are going to be running a very high line there, which means they might just clobber the edges of that concrete wall where it blends off into the pit lane. It's certainly going to be a tough one tonight at a track that has had many great races in ODSE history. Well, this is the format for tonight. We've got an A main of 40 laps coming up at the end of the night, but of course, we have to work our way through 10-lap heats, then a 12-lap C main, and a 15-lap B main, with the A main starting orders by the spinny wheel redraw as per usual. A little bit different this time, though. We're going to be spinning for positions 1 to 4 first, and then positions 5 to 8 later. And this is how things stand in the championship. Ethan Winter on top, coming into the final round of the season, and we have been told that all he needs to do is take the green flag in one of the mains tonight, and he will take the title, even if Tim Ryan has a perfect night.
Yeah, and also, sadly for Nathan Vanderwacker, he will be absent tonight, so Harry Stewart has a huge chance to steal that final position in the top 3 away from him, remembering that the drivers cannot drop the last round of this season. So the championship's still up for grabs mathematically, but it's going to be very, very tough for Tim Ryan to steal it away.
Yeah, it certainly is. And just like that, we are into the racing action with Heat 1 ready to go. The quick time went to Joel Berkeley, who is going to start on pole for the first heat of the night. Kobe Noonan looking very quick tonight. Ethan Winter, solid P3 in the quick time session, followed by Baldwin and Rattray White to round out the top 5. Harry Stewart, not quite as quick as he would want to be. He'll be hoping to fix that as the night goes on. But it's Berkeley and Rattray White on the front row for Heat 1, Bilson and Nick Ryan just behind them. Row 3 being Hayden Vickers and Neuropower's Tristo Yelland. Once again, sponsoring a round of this championship. Daniel Boyd and Brenton Hobson will round out the remainder of our 8 cars for this grid. And what a grid it is for the first heat of the night. Pretty stacked, I have to say. Pretty much anyone in the top 5, at least, is going to be in contention for victory here.
Yeah, exactly right. It's a competitive field. Once again, it's saying that. We've said that all season long, haven't we? Every single race is competitive, and every single race has all sorts of drivers that we could see win it and come through. And we've seen all sorts of action throughout the series as well. So don't be surprised if something surprises you by the end of this one. But Joel Berkeley with the perfect start to the night. He'll be looking for a bit of redemption after a couple of bad rounds.
Yeah, indeed. He hasn't completed the full season, and the rounds that he has been here, he's been quick, of course, the Joel Berkeley that we know and love, but the race results haven't quite gone his way, usually due to contact. So hopefully he'll be able to avoid that here tonight. Let's get things going then around Cedar Lake Speedway. The pace car, or the pace truck to be more precise, getting ready to pull away as the field hangs back for the start of this first 10-lap heat. It is Berkeley on the inside, and away he goes out of turn 4 as the race begins. Zach Rattray White holding on to second. Riley Bilson was looking in a rush to get going there, and it's a big advance from Nick Ryan, who's going to try and challenge himself and Hayden Vickers for that last spot on the podium. As yes, Brenton Hobson seems as
he's found those tyre bundles that we love about this place and every other track that has them.
Yeah, big unfortunate stuff for Brenton Hobson. See Berkeley's running the high line already. Zach Rattray White making his way alongside him into the corners, but not quite there to get it done down the straights. We'll have to wait and see how that one goes. This is what happened to Hobbo just off the start. He was unfortunately already making contact on the way out to the start and hit the tyres on the inside of the corners there, flipping over. So he'll have to work his way through the C and B mains if he wants to make a feature appearance tonight.
It's going to be a tough night now. Come from right at the back in the C main to get himself into the A. But it's been done before and it will be done again. So don't be surprised if it happens tonight. We've seen all sorts of craziness throughout this season, but Berkeley, Rattray, White, Bilson have broken out. Daniel Boyd just doesn't quite have enough at the moment for Nick Ryan. He needs to find something in these last 3 laps, or else it'll be too little too late.
Yeah, he might have to pull a desperate slider or try and work on his rotation through the corners. It seems both cars are quite comfortable on the high line here, and Nick Ryan's being nice and smooth. There's a little bit of progress being made by Daniel Boyd, and he's starting to draw alongside. This could be his chance here coming into 3 and 4. Dives down to the inside, just avoids getting into the tyres. Momentum lost on the exit, but he might just be able to clear Nick Ryan here and get into the transfer,
nice.
But that was very good there from Nick Ryan. Up ahead, Berkeley takes the win from Rattray White, but Nick Ryan is just going to fend off Daniel Boyd for the last transfer spot.
Great battle there between those two. They didn't make contact as close as they were. Could have easily ended in tears for both of them to miss out, but great driving from both. And in the end, separated by just 0.02 of a second. Berkeley, Rattray White, Bilson and Nick Ryan are through to the A main. The rest will have to go through the alphabet.
Indeed they will, to say nothing of Brenton Hobson, who wasn't even able to make it past the start-finish line to begin the heat. Well, Heat 2 is up now, and it's Kobe Noonan and Cole Ferguson on the front row there. Cole Ferguson, of course, the owner of Australian Speedway Results, which sponsored the previous round. Harry Stewart and John Schultz on the second row, with Thomas Mitchell and Travis Parrott 5th and 6th. Then we have Jaden Russell, the 7th and last car on the grid. Liam James in race control will not be taking to the grid. And this is another heat where we're looking for a lot of drivers to be in contention for those transfers. Harry Stewart starting out of 3rd place. The quick time session didn't quite go his way, so he'll be hoping for a little bit more redemption here. Maybe try and improve his spot on the feature grid by getting into the top 2.
Remember, the top 2 from each will come through, and just think Cole Ferguson's dropped from the session, so he's had internet dramas at the worst possible time. This opens the door for Thomas Mitchell, Travis Parrott, Jaden Russell. Remembering Jaden Russell has had a real seesawing season, hasn't he? He's had a victory earlier in the season, he's had absolutely horrendous results, and he's had everything in between. You could say he's done everything this season except be consistent.
Yeah, exactly. Jaden Russell looking to cap off his season in a good way here in 2024, and starting all the way from dead last is certainly going to be difficult for him, but all he needs to do is gain 2 positions and he'll be into the transfer. I'm looking forward to seeing what John Schultz can do as well. He's another driver who's had absolutely horrendous luck this season, though has shown incredible pace in the Pace Syndicate number 78. Well, green flag is out, ready to start waving as the pace truck pulls away. 6 cars taking to the start for Heat 2, and we are away with Kobe Noonan getting a great jump there over Stewart, battling down low. Schultz getting squeezed a little bit by Russell, who gets T-boned by Travis Parrott.
That's another incident Jaden Russell probably isn't going to be at fault for. I was about to say the same thing about John Schultz. He's had a shocker of a season, but he hasn't been at fault for many of the incidents he's been involved with. Noonan, Mitchell, Schultz.
Yep, Harry Stewart gave Kobe Noonan a big bump out of turn 4 there, and that's promoted Thomas Mitchell to the lead of the heat so far. Now Noonan's trying to fight back down low. Can he do it? The low line at Cedar Lake usually doesn't come into it until about halfway through the night's runnings. For now, it is still the high line, which is where you want to be. Harry Stewart is able to keep second place across the line for the time being, but can Noonan fight back in the last few laps? There goes Stewart, not only going to pass Thomas Mitchell, but covering Noonan's advance.
Just also heard from Race Control, they've called that a racing incident, a racing deal for that contact we saw between Travis Parrott and Jaden Russell. We'll get a quick look at it if we can as well. I think we'll quickly do it now. But a bit unlucky. There was a little bit of contact there, which sent Jaden Russell around. Travis Parrott, talk about an innocent bystander.
Yeah, there was nothing he could have done to avoid that, and he is our sole retirement from the race so far, not counting Cole Ferguson, who dropped out before the start. Well, now the top 4 are well and truly safe. All John Schultz has to do is finish, and he's got the transfer straight into the feature. And it seems like things have calmed down up the front with the white flag flying.
I think they
Thomas
had to,
Mitchell.
didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
The ferocity of that first lap or so, I think everything had to calm down. Sorry to cut you off, Reece. Checking flags out. But John Schultz, I think he decided, I'm not going to catch these guys, I'm just going to make sure I hold the position. Jaden Russell does finish a lap down in the end, so he didn't have to stress too much about that. Those 4 are through. Jaden Russell will be into the B, and Travis Parrott, I think, will be in the C.
Yeah, indeed he will. Those are then your results. Stewart, Mitchell, Noonan and Schultz, our top 4, and the rest of them having to work their way through. Time for Heat 3 then. On the grid, it's going to be Ethan Winter, championship leader, coming into the final round with Sean Stevens alongside him. Bradley Oldfield and Trent Gosley, our second row, with Nathan Norman and Corey Borden rounding out the top 6. And then it's Cameron De Bruin starting last. He did not set a time in the quick time session. Same as, interestingly, Bailey Leeson, Brenton Hobson, Jaden Russell, and get this, Tim Ryan. Tim Ryan did not set a lap in qualifying.
Yeah, so I noticed he went really, really late for his run to post a lap time, and yeah, as you say, didn't get a lap time in the end, and we'll start at the back. But probably not the week you want to do a last to first challenge either.
No, certainly not.
Now,
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going to cut you off again. Just received info about Cole Ferguson. Apparently his brother unplugged the internet on him.
Oh no!
So family feud happens in the sim world as well.
Yeah, certainly does. That's certainly going to sting for Cole Ferguson. Hopefully he can get back into the session in time for the C main. But this field moving away, like we said at the top of the show, Ethan Winter in the 39, all he has to do is start one of the mains tonight in order to take the championship.
Top 4 in this race, he wins the championship. So that's all he has to do.
Righto. So, keep your eyes peeled on Ethan Winter. I mean, honestly, wouldn't put it past him to win this heat. So, this could be the deciding moment of the 2024 ASC season, with 6 cars taking to the start here. Winter versus Bradley Oldfield on the front row, as it seems Sean Stevens has also had internet problems. He has dropped, but he's back in the server. Unfortunately, not in time for the start, which Ethan Winter absolutely dominates. Out into turns 1 and 2 they come again. Bradley Oldfield holding on to second spot, and Nathan Norman trying to keep Trent Gosley behind, but Trent on the inside feeds him the right rear.
Also, Corey Borden, Cam de Bruin going at it for 5th and 6th in this race as well. They've been really wheeling it in these first lap and a half, but the front of the field, bit of a breakaway for Ethan Winter. Probably have a smile on his face right now too, thinking, how can I drive away? How can I hold on to this win and win the championship right now?
Yeah, he's almost home free, but we don't know exactly what Bradley Oldfield's pace is like. For now, keep an eye on Gosley and Norman battling over the final 2 positions in the top 4. The number 4, a little bit too much rotation there up high, but he does V the corner out nicely and keeps the momentum up on the straights. So Nathan's going to have to try and find something else to do here, and look at what he's doing, going straight for the inside line. More and more drivers testing out that extreme low line now to see if it's got the grip, and apparently it does.
Yeah, that was beautiful from Nathan Norman. He just absolutely mowed it out of there, out of turn 2, using that inside line to his advantage. And look at the gap that he's already pulled, gone straight back to the outside, which he obviously feels is quicker overall. But there was a fair bit of grip there. Now they're starting to try the inside through 3 and 4. You can see that's starting to wear in quite nicely. That battle for 5th and 6th. Oh, it's ended in tears.
Oh dear. Cameron De Bruin slipping over and losing his wing. He is out of this heat as the white flag is about to fly up the front for Ethan Winter. Bradley Oldfield trying his best to close the gap, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. So just 2 more turns to go for Ethan Winter. All he had to do was take the start in one of the mains, and he's gotten there by winning this heat. And, well, we can unofficially crown him the 2024 ODSE ASC champion-elect.
Yep, the only thing he has to do now is avoid causing dramas throughout the rest of the night. But the driving that he's done all season long, you would find that highly unlikely. So congratulations to him. That's a great result and thoroughly deserved. He's been the most consistent driver throughout the season, deserves a championship.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff from Ethan Winter. 8 tenths ahead of Oldfield, and then Norman and Gosley completing the top 4. Borden finishes a lap down. Cameron De Bruin and Sean Stevens, our 2 retirements from Heat 3. And finally, it is time for Heat 4. We've got another 7 cars scheduled to start this one. They're headed up by our series administrator, Brady Baldwin. Josh Barry starts alongside him in the Vermilion at number 14. Rob Crawley and Darcy Wilson on the second row. Then it's Nash Granger and second place in the championship, Tim Ryan, 5th and 6th, with Bailey Leeson bringing up the rear. All right, this is going to be, I think, a pretty hotly contested one, because we know from literally every broadcast on dirt that we've ever done that Tim Ryan is one of the most unbeatable guys on the dirt. So I'm interested to see what he can do from 6th place here.
I wouldn't put it past him winning the race from here, but it's going to be tough. It's a pretty competitive field, but you don't win a world championship by just being lucky. You win a world championship by having absolute skill, and that is something that Tim Ryan has. Although the skill didn't quite translate in qualifying, so he does find himself back in the field. I think he'll enjoy the challenge, though.
Yeah, I think he will. Of course, if any of you watching aren't aware, Tim Ryan, a couple of years ago, was the iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car World Champions. So he's definitely got it in him to dominate, and it's been that kind of story for many years in ODSE competition, with Tim only losing championships on a couple of occasions. For now though, we bring the heats to an end with the green flag for Heat 4. Brady Baldwin holding on to the lead immediately. To the inside on exit goes Josh Barry and takes the lead coming into 3 and 4. They have 4 wide behind him coming out of turn 4. Fantastic racing to start off this heat. Rob Crawley is going to challenge for the lead.
Yeah, Crawley's done a great job, and here comes Tim Ryan. He's right in this pack now too. He's at the back of the pack, but he's working out where he can go and try to get this line to make positions up. The inside isn't quite working for him as well as it is for Rob Crawley and Josh Barry at the front of the field.
What a big oversteer moment for Darcy Wilson coming out of turn 4 as well. Wilson might be in trouble of losing touch with the top 4 here, but he's going to try and stake his claim at the inside, pull the slider on Tim Ryan here, who sits now in 5th. This is the battle for the transfer we're looking at here, and Ryan goes for the slider. It doesn't work though, and all it's really done is brought Bailey Leeson right into the thick of this fight.
It's unusual to see Tim Ryan fighting for transfer positions, isn't it? He's really fighting too. He's struggling to get that spot back. Now Darcy Wilson's starting to get a bit of a gap on him, and Bailey Leeson is starting to come in at him now too. So Tim Ryan really struggling. Josh Barry has broken a fairly decent margin, and Rob Crawley's dropped back as well. As Darcy Wilson takes that spot away, Tim Ryan might be getting into Rob Crawley next.
Yeah, you never know. Not much time left in the race, though. Only 2.5 laps for Josh Barry at the front of the field as Crawley is side by side with Wilson for 3rd. And it's a great battle for 2nd happening at the moment. Brady Baldwin struggling to hold on, and he feeds the right rear to the wall, and it looks like Crawley did it a little bit more. And there's contact, and off the track goes Robert Crawley. And away he goes backwards, and that's going to be a finish way down the field as the checkered flag flies. Josh Barry is going to take victory with Brady Baldwin and Tim Ryan completing the podium. Leeson completes the top 4. That was a huge change there in just the last couple of laps.
A lot happened in that heat, didn't it? It was pretty full-on heat, so well done to Barry. I've clicked the wrong button there. I was bringing up the results for a race that doesn't exist yet. Barry Baldwin, Tim Ryan up into 3rd, then Bailey Leeson 4th, and then Darcy Wilson, he'll be disappointed. Rob Crawley, he'll be disappointed too, and Nash Granger also did not finish the race. We're into our mains. C main up next.
Yep, 6 going to be taken to the start. Rob Crawley and Tristo Yelland will be your front row, with Cole Ferguson and Sean Stevens getting the opportunity to start a race here tonight. They're both back in the server, with Nash Granger and Brenton Hobson rounding out the field. Hobson missed a 6th place. Unfortunately, this time it's last on the grid.
Not the 6th that he wants. I mean, he never wants 6th anyway, does he? But he definitely won't want this 6th place, so he'll be disappointed with how that's played out coming up to this race. But looks like almost everyone is out. Cole Ferguson's still having some internet issues, it seems, so we might not have him, which means that we may only have 5 starters.
Yeah, I thought Cole had gotten back into the server by now, but apparently that's not the case. Yeah. Well, this might be the end of Cole Ferguson's season, and it comes in a very frustrating fashion. But for the time being, keep our eyes on the top 4 for this one, because they will transfer through to the B main, and then the top 4 from the B main transfer through to the feature. So once again, you're fighting for your right to stay in the night, and this is probably one of Tristo's best chances yet to get onto the feature grid, but he's got a lot up against him. Pretty much every one of the drivers in this field is worthy of a victory.
100%. It's a very, very competitive field. Remember, we're only going to lose 1 driver, and that often is heartbreaking to think that we're only going to lose 1. You almost want a bigger field to make it a little bit fairer and lose a couple more, because losing 1 driver I think is heartbreaking in itself. But we obviously will lose Cole Ferguson, who won't take to the start, and whether it's someone that we would normally expect to see in the A main or whether it's someone else, it's going to be interesting to see. This is going to be a very, very competitive main. 12 laps. Remember, an extra 2 laps from where we just ran that last couple.
Bit of a late start there from Rob Crawley, and Tristo had to back off there. Immediately to second goes Sean Stevens, and it's going to be a big fight between Stevens and Crawley for the lead. Looks like Tristan's managed to get his momentum back up. Hobson runs into the back of him and does a little wheelie behind, battling hard with Nash Granger, who's struggling to find a way back past Hobbo.
Granger definitely struggling as Crawley and Stevens also side by side for the lead. Stevens gets ahead just and will hold it for now, but I think the pace that Hobson seems to have now that he's got a little bit clear of Nash Granger, he might be able to close up that gap. Tristo Allen doing a very, very good job in third at the moment though too.
Yeah, holding on nicely. We'll see what momentum Hobson can build up though, because he is around the outside and carrying the line beautifully up high. And a little bit of contact there. Looks like that was Crawley losing momentum, and that's bumped Tristo Yelland back to 4th place. Now Nash Granger's going to have a go at him for the final transfer spot.
Let's see how this plays out from here. Halfway through this C-Main, halfway through one driver's final race of this season, as Nash Granger just wall rides it through 1 and 2, and he's starting to struggle a little bit and dropping a little bit further back. I'm wondering if he's just trying to reset his brain a little bit and have another go.
Yeah, big potential there, because this battle for third between Crawley, Yelland and Granger is looking like the closest on track at the moment. Hobson's made his way up into second, but doesn't seem to have an answer for Sean Stevens' pace up the field. Sean is the only driver who's managed to get into the 11s in this main so far. So his pace is looking nigh insurmountable. Hobbo's trying a few different things going to the inside line, but meanwhile Tristan Yelland getting rounded up by Nash Granger, and it's the high line through 3 and 4 for the number 25. Tristo is just able to keep him behind there and running middle of the road to try and stymie his run, but there's just enough space. Oh no, not quite enough for Granger, and he gets walled, and unfortunately I think that's damaged the car. Yep, he's got a flat tyre. That is the end of Nash Granger's charge for the top 4. I don't know if Race Control are going to have a word with Tristo Yelland after this, but Stevens, Hobson, Crawley and Yelland are your top 4 on track. So that's going to bring things to an end there. Nash Granger, we will say goodbye to for the time being. That is the last time we'll see him in ODSE competition for 2024. And there we go. Sean Stevens, Hobson, Crawley and Yelland are your top 4. And they will transfer straight through to the B main, a 15-lapper here with 11 cars to take to the grid. It's headed up by Daniel Boyd and Jaden Russell, with Corey Borden and Darcy Wilson 3rd and 4th. Vickers and Parrott are your top 6. Then it's Cameron De Bruin and your top 4 from the previous race.
Yep, which is Stevens, Hobson, Crawley and Yelland. 11 starters in this one, and as we said, we can see anything happen here. Those guys that came through the C, don't discount them from coming through and even winning a B main, because we have seen that this championship season before. Wouldn't it be a way to finish the season off if we saw it again?
Yeah, certainly would. Remember, the top 4 from this transfer through into the feature, so we'll be saying goodbye to the final 7 drivers for this season, and I'm really looking forward to the start here between Boyd and Russell. Jaden is looking for a bit of redemption after the unfortunate runnings that he had in his heat. Daniel Boyd looking for the same thing. Corey Borden being given a black flag for the incident in his heat as well. Yep. But
that's a carryover penalty from that incident in the heat. Sorry, Reese.
Yes, it is. So, yeah, again, this is one of those fields where it looks like there's no clear fastest driver. I think everyone in the field's going to have a chance at a top 4 here.
100%. I tell you what, I love this track just for the scenic parts of it too. It's such a cool track. That water fountain in the middle just always makes me smile seeing it. Fans are having a good time up on the roof there too.
Yeah, they certainly are. As the green flag flies and we are away, leading off the start is Daniel Boyd. Jaden Russell slot into second, but the charge is yet to come from Darcy Wilson, who's right on the rear bumper of Jaden Russell. The battle for fourth is going on. This Corey Borden gets into the wall and he's over the berm and he's lost his wing. Corey Borden is our first driver out of the B main.
It's unfortunate for Borden. Just had the issues there where you've got that black flag carryover penalty. It's up the front. Have a look at these front three going at it. They're going at it so aggressively. I think this opens the door for one of these guys back 4th, 5th, 6th to maybe steal a spot here. These guys at the front are probably going a little bit too aggressive. Oh, in the background there, who's that? Hayden Vickers around.
Oh, God. Hayden Vickers, another driver with horrendous luck this season, has fallen back into 10th spot, and I don't know if he's going to be able to keep going here. Looks like he has managed to get moving again and didn't quite have as much damage as we thought, but these guys are fighting so hard over the top three, aren't they? Another view of what happened to Hayden Vickers. Almost a brilliant pass around the outside there, but just tagged with his left rear and sent down low. Well, Daniel Boyd still holding on, but Darcy Wilson is staking his claim for the lead of this race. How much of a squeeze is there going to be? Look at how much slick there is on the track here. And ultimately, they're just searching for grip, but they're not finding it.
Brenton Hobson, have a look at the pace that he has got. We said that he looked like he had some pace in that C main. Well, he's caught these guys. Not only has he got pace to get up into 4th, but he's got pace to get to the leaders and potentially steal a couple of positions here.
Yeah, great potential for Brenton Hobson to jump on into the podium spots here. This is quite a fantastic race, it's turned out. Scintillating action all the way through, and we still have a third race distance to go. Hobson to the inside then. Teammates with Jaden Russell at Synergy Sim Racing. They'll want to look after each other here.
Sean Stevens has got to the back of the pack now at the front too. There is a 5-car pack for the lead. Only 4 progress on. And Daniel Boyd is on the outside looking in for the moment. He gets back through on Sean Stevens, who is struggling to finish the move that he's got the pace to be able to do. Just can't quite nail the end of it.
Yeah, it's difficult for Stevens. You know, he doesn't have the track time that everyone else here would have had, missing out on the start of his heat due to internet problems. But he's trying to find some grip down low. There's plenty of fresh clay down by the tyres. He nearly cleans up Hobbo, and nearly gets cleaned up by Daniel Boyd, who'll try his best to park it up high and stop him from getting past. But yeah, the inside is where Sean Stevens wants to be for the time being. It's the final lap, and Darcy Wilson is in the lead by over a second over Brenton Hobson and Jaden Russell. The checkered flag flies, and oh wow, Sean Stevens manages to get past Daniel Boyd in the final few meters. What a race.
Absolutely fantastic racing from these guys. Shows why this is the Premier Series for dirt in the AusNZ racing sphere, because these guys put on brilliant performances each and every night we're on track. Wilson, Hobson, Russell and Stevens go through into the A main. Daniel Boyd, Rob Crawley, Tristo Yallen, Cam de Bruin, Travis Parrott, Hayden Vickers and also Corey Borden. Their seasons, unfortunately, are done, but we'll see most of them back next year.
How good was that, Jay? Sorry to cut you off, Reese, but how good was that B-Main? That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, loved it. Yeah, pretty magnificent stuff. Well, Brady, now we move into the final appearance of our good friend, the Spinny Wheel, for this year. And well, we're first going to be deciding positions 1 to 4 on the grid. The first driver up is Joel Berkeley. It's been a good night for you so far, Joel. Wanting to cap your season off on a high note, pole position would just put the cherry on the cake.
Yeah, it'd be nice. So we'll just draw a poll here and we'll be laughing, won't we? It's
sure.
that easy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, just that easy. You can make it happen for me, can't you?
At least you can't go to 8. Oh, that's a 2.
Second.
That's all right.
Look, that's better than 8.
Yeah, definitely is. A pixel deciding it in the end. Well,
don't let this Harry Stewart guy get pole.
Yeah, we shall see. Harry, welcome to the comms box. And, well, 3 options here for you. First, third, or fourth. You would obviously want first, but maybe the second row will be good off the start here.
Yeah, they're all, I guess, pretty decent, better than 8th. So, that's right. I'll start behind Joel.
All right.
Oh,
Outside second row for Harry Stewart as we bring Ethan Winter, champion-elect, into the fold. Well, you basically gotten enough points to grab the championship from here, Ethan, but you'd obviously want a pole position just to cap things off.
Yeah, obviously I want to cap the season off with a win, hopefully, but we'll see what the track does. Obviously, it's been reset, so it should be pretty racy for the first maybe 30, maybe even for the whole time, not sure. But yeah, we'll see how we go.
Well, it's going to be third place for you, Ethan, inside second row. Good chance for you to gain some extra positions. Josh Barry is up next. First of the drivers we'll bring in to decide the second half of the top 8.
No, sorry. Josh's pole.
Oh, God, sorry. My apologies. I completely skipped like 60 seconds forward. Congratulations, Josh Barry. You're on pole position.
What mate?
I put in a lot of work for that, so thank you very much.
Put in more work than me, getting my memory sorted. Well, that's going to conclude that. And now reset. Zach Rattray White's going to be the first driver that we put into the second half of the top 8. Inside or outside, Zach?
It honestly doesn't matter. I'll still find a way to go backwards.
All right. Well, it's going to be 6th for you.
Easy, mate.
Lovely stuff. Well, we'll see how you can make your way forward or back from there. Thomas Mitchell is up next. A top 5 start would obviously be ideal, Thomas, but options are there.
Yeah, so it should be good, but we'll see how we go.
Oh, it's going to be a top 5. There you go. Right in the middle of the slice of the pie.
Wait.
All right. Thomas Mitchell will start in 5th. And then next up, we've got Bradley Oldfield. This is the decider.
Well, I'm getting stitched up with these.
Well, you and me are stitched up, aren't we?
This is horrible.
Yeah, all right. Here we go. It's going to be
stitched
soft,
up.
all right?
Unlucky, Brady.
Oh, nice. That's going to be Bradley Oldfield starting in 7th. And Brady, that means that you are starting in 8th spot for the final race of the season. And it has been a good season.
Reese, can I add this
has
quickly
been good,
before
Reese.
Brady goes and make that P18?
Yeah, there we go.
I knew there was something coming, but
maybe add a 0 to the end of that as well. Start him like 50 laps behind everyone else.
yeah, it has been a good season. We'll have a chat post race, but we'll decide to reset the track, which we did say we probably would do. So it was getting really racy there in the B main. So if we can probably get that halfway through the race, I think and should put on a pretty good show, I reckon. So hopefully it is.
Yeah, certainly. Looking forward to that. Well, we'll say goodbye to our drivers and our series administrator for the time being, Jay, as now we're getting ready for the final feature of the season. And yeah, Brady's right. The track was super racy in the B main. Many lines were possible. Once the drivers found where the grip was, things got really exciting.
100% they did. It was really, really cool in that B main there. And as we saw, we had 5 come together to battle for 4 positions, which is what we want to see. We want to see guys fight for those positions the whole way through. And it's one last race to finish it off. They've reset the track. They're giving the drivers about 5 or 6 laps out there through the middle. So the track is going to be very, very similar to what we saw for that first or second heat, which is a pretty racy track as well.
Yeah, indeed. And I think there's going to be a lot of potential for both the extreme top and extreme bottom to be quick by the end of the feature. Question is, how long will either of them last? Usually I find that the high line tends to last a bit longer than the low line when the track gets slick. But yeah, regardless of what happens, we're going to have a magnificent race here to cap off 2024.
And it's been a fantastic season the whole way through. And if you are interested in getting involved, the qualifying series has been announced and will start next week. 3 weeks of racing, 410s at Knoxville, 360s at Lernerville, and 410s at the newest circuit to iRacing in Oswego. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll see a list of new names into the series next year in 2025 as the series gets bigger, better, stronger, and faster next year.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of good stuff in the works for ODSE in 2025. And of course, Brady's going to be having a chat with us about that post-race. So hopefully you'll all be there to see us through to the very end of the 2024 season. The ASC has been magnificent. I'm hoping for a return of some other ODSE competition, maybe a couple of series I can have a run in myself. So we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Well, in the off weeks from the broadcast as well, they've still been doing the Wheelman Challenge as well. So it's been cool to see that out there as well. The drivers still being involved in that throughout the season as well. So yeah, we'll hopefully see a few different things throughout the year. We might even see another return of the national championships again as well. What else have we had? Big blocks we've had as well. We had them. There's all sorts of new things as well. Of course, got the mini stocks that have been released to iRacing as well. I reckon they'd be cool to have a little whirl over the summer too.
Oh god, yeah. Have you? I'm wondering how many have tried the mini stocks on road courses, because yeah, they're certainly interesting. Tires do tend to go off very quickly on road courses, but I've enjoyed driving the mini stocks on both asphalt and dirt. So hopefully something eventuates in that respect.
You were going to ask me if I've had a go at it, and then you quickly remembered there's no way that I've had a go at it.
Yeah, exactly. You caught me. You got me.
I read your mind.
Yep. Yep. Jay, of course, notorious for not having strapped his wheel to his desk in many a year. Broadcasting is your thing.
It is my thing, but I do get the wheel out very occasionally for very, very special events. The last one, of course, was the what was it called? The Bragging Rights Challenge, where SimSpeed won yet again. I didn't do the last one, though. I didn't do number 3. I decided to have a break. Thought someone else better win that. But SimSpeed / V8s Online, 3 times reigning champions, and they can't stop us.
No, absolutely not. Well, who can stop the front of this feature field? We are now in the feature session, and that's your top 8. Reminder, Josh Barry and Joel Berkeley will be your front row, with Ethan Winter and Harry Stewart on row 2. Thomas Mitchell and Zach Rattray White 5th and 6th, and Bradley Oldfield and Brady Baldwin rounding out the 4th row of the grid. Then behind them, rounding out the top 10, it's Riley Bilson and Kobe Noonan. Nathan Norman is going to start out of 11th alongside Tim Ryan. Uncharacteristically low starting position there for Tim. Then Nick Ryan and John Schultz on the next row. Trent Gosley and Bailey Leeson are row 8. Then Darcy Wilson and Brenton Hobson are 17th and 18th. Final 2 cars on the grid, Jaden Russell and Sean Stevens. So, a slightly smaller feature field than we've become used to over the year in ODSE. It's usually 24, but I think it's going to be no less exciting.
Usually have 20 for the 360 races, so it's fairly standard for that, and 24 for the... that's right, isn't it? 24 we've had in the 410s, and 360s we've had 20. Or has it been the other way around normally, and this one's a 20 for a change in this? I don't know. Anyway, it's still going to be cool. It'll be competitive, it's going to be action-packed, and I think we're going to have a great time. And of course, we're here to crown a champion, but we're also here to see who will finish 3rd in the championship, and also 4th, 5th, 6th is still up for grabs in that championship as well.
Yeah, plenty of points on hand for the drivers here in this final round as the field forms up. What a fantastic front row it is here, with Barry and Berkeley going to be leading us away as the pace car is in, and Josh Barry takes to the green flag, and we are racing for the final time in 2024. Josh Barry up to the outside line will take the lead. Joel Berkeley trying to challenge, but the caution is already out.
Jaden Russell, I think the car involved in that one. Looks like, and it's dropping back to the back. He's got damage. 10 laps the pit lane is open for this week as well, so we won't have any confusion around that. I know that it's only going to be the first 10 laps that the drivers have to make their spare car calls. We'll try and pick up what happened to Jaden Russell, because he quickly drove that car into the pits to get that damage fixed.
Yeah, it started with Trent Gosley coming into turns 1 and 2. It looks like he just slid too much and completely lost all momentum. Darcy Wilson got into him, and then Jaden Russell immediately arrived on the scene. So keep your eyes peeled on the number 4 here. So slows up, and then Wilson bumps him, and then Jaden Russell has nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate, isn't it? The driver makes a fairly standard error that we see in these races, and Jaden and Darcy both have to come in and use their spare cars. Not that anyone's surprised by that with that incident.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a fair whack, wasn't it? Well, now we form back up and get ready to go. Looks like the caution has been extended a little.
Control having a little bit more of a look at that one, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
The fact that they haven't advanced the caution, they keep extending it. There we go, we're shortening it now, so we're getting back into it. It looks like the driver's actually being told to get back into their original positions potentially as well. Not sure, there's a couple of drivers just shuffling spots there, aren't they?
Yeah. It looks like, they are shuffling around quite a bit. They might just be getting back into their normal positions, but, well, we'll see by the time they reach this point on the next lap how the start goes. The drivers, of course, have to be very careful not to feed their way into the concrete wall up at the top of the circuit. It's rather difficult to drive Cedar Lake. It's a fun oval for sure, but you run the outside line and you run a big risk. So who's going to be taking that risk as the pace truck pulls away, and Josh Barry leads us away once again across the line. This time the 39 of Ethan Winter goes straight to the inside and starts challenging for the top 2 alongside Berkeley now, and he's gotten into second, but Berkeley's trying around the outside. Winter compromised on the exit. Now to the inside, Harry Stewart. Look at him, he's up into second place. Brilliant job for Harry, and he is doing everything right to try and grab third place in the championship from Nathan van der Wacker.
Yeah, he needs to get right up to the pointy end to try and steal that position away from Van der Wacker, but Ethan Winter's right there with him to try and steal that position back. Get himself further forward. There's a little bit of contact there between Riley Wilson and Zach Rattray White. They've been going at it. Rattray White actually has got very, very good pace. He did say he dropped backwards, but he's still maintaining that top 6 at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing all right. Bradley Oldfield is his next target. Rattray White is going straight to the bottom there to try and get it done. Meanwhile, Tim Ryan, Brenton Hobson, Darcy Wilson middling around there in the midfield as Ethan Winter and Joel Berkeley trade spots again. See Tim in the blue car off to the right there. He hasn't advanced very far forward.
No, he hasn't moved much at all, has he? When he's up. He's actually down 3 positions from where he started. So I actually was about to say he's up a couple, but he's actually gone backwards, which is uncharacteristic. I'm guessing Tim hasn't had as much time to practice in the last week or so, and pretty solid in second position in the championship. It's not really going to matter too much when Ethan Winter's already wrapped up the crown. Back a little bit further. Tim's actually dropping back. Oh my goodness, that's Trent Gosley and Darcy Wilson. Darcy Wilson, he'll be done now because he's already used his spare. They've gone to the inside of the track and across the wall. How's that happened?
How on earth? Yeah, that is interesting. Looks like Darcy, I think, went into turn 1 too hard and unfortunately tapped Gosley around such that he runs head-on into the tyre.
Into the tyres, and he's actually damaged a wheel from that as well. I tell you who's lucky from that is Tim Ryan. He almost ran straight into the rear of those guys in that one. And the fact that he didn't make contact with anyone, it's very, very surprising and lucky for his season. But he wasn't. No, sorry, it wasn't Tim Ryan. It was another blue car. I'm trying to get the picture on here. Let me try and work it out. 96 is Nathan Norman. It was the car that was very, very lucky to avoid that one.
Yeah, certainly was. Well, Gosley's taken his fast repair and will resume running at the back of the field, but as mentioned, we've already lost one driver in the form of Darcy Wilson.
Watch how close this was.
View. Oh, wow, yeah. That is pretty close. Just got out of the throttle at exactly the right time there, and a very lucky escape for Darcy Wilson.
The issue he had there too, Nathan Norman, was that he had 2 cars on his outside as well. He was 3 wide on the bottom. He couldn't drift up too high to avoid them, but he pretty much put himself in the perfect position on the road to avoid those guys and not make contact. So well done. Probably saved his race and the rest of his season, to be perfectly honest, as we look like we're going green this time.
Yes, I misidentified, misspoke. I said Darcy Wilson.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, but not everyone
No one
watching
else did.
mine is.
That's all right.
We are back to racing here. To start the 10th lap, and Josh Barry is looking so quick at the front of this field, but Harry Stewart flinging it into the corner, nearly rear-ended him as he's trying to keep Ethan Winter and Joel Berkeley behind. Berkeley was starting to drop back when the caution came out, and I think he might be in danger here as Winter looks very comfortable up high.
Sure does. Winter's looking very, very smooth. He's composed and he's now starting to get a bit of a gap. Pits are now closed for drivers as well to use their spare cars, use their fast repairs. So the car you've got is the car you have to finish with. Nathan Norman's starting to actually move forward as well, and Ratcho White is dropping back through the field. Teammates remember those two.
Yeah, Rattray White's in the midst of a very tight battle. Just behind him, Hobson, Norman, Noonan and Baldwin all fighting over the same piece of racetrack. This is the view from Harry Stewart as he tries to grab that lead from Josh Barry. Sticking to the inside for the moment and outside through turns 1 and 2. He's running all the way out to the wall.
Little mistake there from Josh Barry. He had to open the wheel a little bit, lost a bit of momentum, had to get out of the throttle. Have a look at how close they've got now. Here comes Harry Stewart, and I think this slider's done. Position made. And now Harry Stewart takes the lead. Is that enough points for him to win the championship from here?
Yeah, that is the question.
Third in the championship, I should say. Not win, but I think everyone knew what I meant there too when I misspoke.
Yeah. What a fantastic battle it is for 10th spot, by the way. There's a huge gaggle of cars there. And Kobe Noonan currently sitting in 9th here. And look at all these cars fighting around the outside. Brenton Hobson in the midst of all of it. And a little bit of contact as Tim Ryan looks like might have collected the tyre bundles. And that's a huge crash there. Hobson's up in the wall in the background, collects Sean Stevens. Looks like Bailey Leeson and Thomas Mitchell all involved in that one. And wow, I think that might be the end of Hobbo's night, unless he wants to drive without a front wing.
I think you're right. I think that could be night done. That's going to be it. I mean, he'll probably bring it into the pits and see if he can get it repaired, but that's going to be very, very difficult to get done. And I was about to say as well, have a look at who was leading that group of cars. Jaden Russell, who, remember, he came through the alphabet. He's up 11 positions. He started in 19th spot in this race. Second last car to come through the C main, and is now up inside the top 10. That's a brilliant drive from him, but this is the incident here.
Yeah, so little coming together up the top, and there's contact there for Tim Ryan, and then a little bit of a tap around from the number 52 on Brenton Hobson, who got absolutely pile-drived. So Leeson was coming into the corner there, number 52, and it seems just ran out of room.
Something there happened to Tim Ryan. I think it was at Kobe Noonan that he made a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact with and sent him off into the sticks and into the weeds, and that started the chain reaction. There's definitely no intent in that, but it just sort of triggered a chain reaction with that wheel-to-wheel contact. So unfortunate. We're going to go green again. Let's see if we can get another look, but I don't think we're going to be able to. Green flag flies and we are away.
Harry Stewart leads on the way to turn 1, but Ethan Winter now is going for it. Have a look at Oldfield on the inside as well. Can't quite get the momentum up. Berkeley repasses him, and they're almost 3 wide there for 4th place. Fantastic racing here, and we are now halfway through the racing action for the final round of ODSE ASC for 2024. This is a great battle between Barry and Winter for 2nd spot. Question is, where is the grip? Because I'm seeing slick lines all over the racetrack. There was some big contact behind there. Looks like Jaden Russell got into the back of Berkeley, and tumbling is Zach Rattray White, and he is out in spectacular fashion.
And I have put the commentator's curse on Jaden Russell again.
Oh, yes, you have. Might have to have a little meeting with Synergy there. Looks to me like all of that was started by Riley Bilson having a poor run out of turns 1 and 2. Jaden Russell got into the back of him, and ultimately Rattray White got involved.
You said 3 wide, a little bit hip and shoulder. And as you said, Bilson is a little bit tardy, and there's contact there, which then sent Rattray White lost his front wing, which caused him to understeer and just run straight into the rear of Jaden Russell, and both of their nights are done, unfortunately.
If we have time, can we look at Brady Baldwin as well? Because he's exited the race in spectacular fashion too. Contact with Nathan Norman across the start-finish line, and it sent Baldwin spearing off. Have a look at this.
So, Baldwin, so yeah, he's just done a full Tony Hawk.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
I had to get in first because I knew you were going to say it. So yeah,
I was literally saying Tony when you said
I know,
that.
I heard. I had to make sure I finished that quickly. So I've lost all of the cars with 7 as their last number, except for Nick Ryan. Nick Ryan's the only one of them left as we go green. Stewart, Barry Winter, your top 3. Bradley Oldfield doing a great job in 4th at the moment. Berkeley, Bilson, Norman and Kobe Noonan rounding out the top 8. Fairly clean start, but that pack from mid-pack back, a little bit messy, especially around Berkeley. Bilson,
Berkeley.
They're interlocking wheels.
Berkeley manages to get it going again, sweeping around the outside. There is Riley Bilson, and the 96 of Nathan Norman is in the midst of all of this as well. 5 cars occupying the same bit of racetrack, but contact with a great run out of the corner there from...
that's Ethan Winter.
Oh no! That's not good. Ethan Winter might be crowned your champion, not finishing the feature. Depends on how bad the damage is. What happened to him here?
That's Bradley Oldfield a little bit slow. He hits the wall at the exit of 2 and bang, into Winter. Both of them slow, and that's heavy, heavy damage to Ethan Winter's car. And yeah, as you said, that's his season done, but he's already done enough to win the championship, which is great for him, but that's just unfortunate. Not the way he would have wanted to finish the championship.
Yeah, certainly not. Well, he pulls back into the garage, and that's going to be the end of the season for our champion-elect. And then there were 13 drivers are left with 14 laps still left to run. As the green flag flies, and Harry Stewart will lead us away. Great start from Harry. Josh Barry still running well. Nathan Norman, meanwhile, making his way up from 11th to 3rd, and he's had a lot of drama to deal with tonight. Bilson and Berkeley still right with him, though. Noonan and Tim Ryan will be looking for any position they can here, as once again, Joel Berkeley and Bilson coming together. A big whack for Berkeley on the outside.
There's no love lost between these guys. Their elbows are well and truly out. There's 4 wide at the exit of turn 2, and there's contact. Kobe Noonan gets shuffled into the wall. And that started from the contact, the corner before, between Berkeley and Bilson again.
Yeah, goodness me. They're certainly having their fair share of issues tonight. Tim Ryan making his way up into 6th now as Berkeley is struggling to hold on to a position in the top 5. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd, Riley Bilson and Nathan Norman, they're still continuing on as they are. The slick now comes all the way across the racetrack. The only hope for grip is to just fling it in around the outside and hope for some grip on the exit, or go all the way down to the inside and maybe cost yourself some momentum.
Harry Stewart also just made a move. Josh Barry made a move on Harry Stewart, and then Harry Stewart just came back through turns 1 and 2 as they're actually coming up on some lap traffic as well. It's Brenton Hobson, who we know is just lapping around a little bit slower with no front wing. He'll get out of the way and do a good job of it. And looks like Josh Barry may have nothing left to fight with. There's Bilson now starting to close in on him as well.
Yeah, this is pretty big here for Bilson and Barry as the rest of the field makes their way around Brenton Hobson. It's very tight. Tim Ryan threads the needle, gets to the inside of Berkeley. They just avoid making contact. And Easy does it. Coming out of the corner there, Berkeley almost gets sent up into the tyres.
And Schultz just makes the tiniest little bit of contact. He's struggling on the slick track, isn't he? He's just putting the power down, got no grip, and literally holding onto the wheel, hoping it goes straight.
Yeah, that's how I usually drive a sprint car, no matter the track conditions.
Me too.
Yep. In any case, Tim Ryan's really coming to the fore here in the final laps of the race. He loves driving on a slick track, does Tim Ryan. I don't know if he actually loves it, but he always seems quick when the track is slick. And he's just dispatched Riley Bilson to get into the top 3, or has he? There's contact, and Ryan gets sent into the wall just in time for Berkeley and company to arrive on the scene. Tim has to switch down to the bottom and try and preserve something from this, as Riley Bilson is indeed done. He is out, and that leaves just 12 cars left running in this feature with 2 laps remaining on the ticker. Harry Stewart leading from Josh Barry. The white flag is about to fly as there's massive contact there between Joel Berkeley and Nathan Norman. We're staying green on the final lap. And the run to victory for Harry Stewart is there. He is your final feature winner of 2024, and he might have done just enough to overcome Nathan van der Wacker for the top 3. Tim Ryan. Yeah, John Schultz getting into the top 3 there. Something massive happened to him on the last couple of laps. Ryan ends up finishing 4th. Yeah. But it's Norman. It's contact with Norman. You're about to see it. Yep, there goes Schultz. Yeah. Man. Yeah, a bit messy in places, but ultimately a great drive to the win for Harry Stewart. Finishes 0.7 of a second ahead of Josh Barry, and John Schultz will take the podium in the final feature of 2024. Nick and Tim Ryan rounding out the top 5 there, with Sean Stevens finishing in 6th. And what a turnaround that is for Sean Stevens. Remember, he lost connection before his heat. We didn't even know if he was going to make it into the feature.
He's done a brilliant job to get back, and my apologies, I just realised that I had my microphone muted on the broadcast, but not Reese could hear every word I was saying. I was making some really intelligent points for the first time all season long, and nobody heard him except for Reese. So.
Oh, man.
But only 8 finishes in the end in that race, which surprises me, and 9 if we include Brenton Hobson, who did finish 1 lap down in the end as well. Bilson, Mitchell, Oldfield, Winter, Rattray White, Russell, Baldwin, Leeson and Wilson, all trouble throughout the night. What a bizarre way to finish the season, but what a fantastic season.
Yeah, 2024 absolutely went off. Really looking forward to having a chat to our drivers here. Well, the first man we're going to talk to is John Schultz, who manages to grab 3rd place in the final feature of the season. We haven't talked to you in a very long time, John, and you must be enjoying that result.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked with that one, eh?
Yeah, as you should be. The Pace Syndicate number 78 has been fast in many places all season long, but the results just haven't quite come to you.
Yeah, no, the back half of the season, I got a bit of help from someone. He knows who he is. Yeah, I got him to thank for the pace for the back half of the season.
Well, with the podium at Cedar Lake, in a way that you might not have been expecting, what's 2025 looking like for you?
A whole lot brighter now, because I feel like I've found a bit of pace in the last couple of months, and hopefully I can continue it on into 2025.
Yeah, here's hoping. Well, thanks very much for quickly jumping in with us there, John. Anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yep, I'd just like to thank all the boys back at Pace Syndicate and NBS 3D Printing and RC Customs and Worm Paints. Cheers, guys.
Fantastic stuff from John Schultz. And then we move to Josh Barry. You were super quick this round, Josh, and rewarded with second place in the feature, leading for some of the way as well. Cedar Lake seems to like you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I've done 0 laps coming into tonight, and I told the boys I wasn't even going to run. I was a bit out of it today, so we'll take a second place. Unfortunately, starting on pole with a track reset, it's hard to read the track where it's going to go. I think I did pretty well. I guessed the bottom when it came in, and then guessed the middle when it came in, and unfortunately Harry just got biased there. But I felt like towards the end we sort of had the quicker car. I had one shot to sort of make the pass. It was so slick coming off the corners that you sort of had one chance to make it stick. Otherwise you were giving up 10 car lengths, and Harry's too good when you give him 10 car lengths to run them back down. So yeah, congrats to the other boys on the podium, and yeah, not bad for a P2.
Yeah, fantastic result, Josh. Thanks for joining us. Is there anyone you want to shout out before you go?
Yeah, obviously all the Vermilion boys. Our first dirt season with ODSE this year, so we've got a pretty good package going now, and we've got a few more boys coming through the qualifiers, so hopefully we'll have a stronger team presence next season. And yeah, big thanks to you guys. You do a fantastic effort yourself. Brady and all the boys and all the race control, they do a fantastic effort. So yeah, bring on next year.
Yeah, bring on next year indeed. For Josh Barry. Meanwhile, Harry Stewart, winner of the feature, and might have done just enough to nab third place in the championship there, Harry. Good final round.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good fun. I didn't really know what to expect. I was new with the track reset. I'd be pretty good at the start of the race, and then yeah, when it started to blow off and get slick, I was getting a bit worried about just how my car was feeling, being a bit loose just throughout the corner. I tugged the wing back a bit, and I think probably have the cars from third on back to thank for racing so hard and not sort of putting any extra pressure on me, I think. So yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, obviously very good fun from your perspective. An up and down season, but way more ups than downs. What are you going to carry into next year's racing?
Yeah, hopefully less crashing. Maybe change the mindset from win it or bin it to win it or finish would be a good start. Yeah, I don't know, it depends what they do with the bloody the cars, see how the change, if they make a change. I have no idea I'm out of the loop with that, but yeah, if they change how the cars drive and how quickly we can get on top of that, if at all. And yeah, I don't know, there's a whole new batch of rookies or whatever that are coming in, so they'll probably all be super fast like Ethan was, and probably spank us all a bit. So yeah, it'll be fun, new group of drivers to race around and learn how they race. And yeah, I don't know.
Well, regardless, third in the championship now confirmed for you, Harry. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for your season?
Yeah, just all the boys in Discord, Joel, Darcy, Bradley, for doing, I think it's basically every round we had the whole group in. Everyone on the car, Titan Garages and Sheds, Frags Tyres, Tour Mobile Welding, BKB Group, 87 Creative, Down Under Graphics, the whole ODSE team for putting it on and giving everyone a place to race that's taken seriously and all up for money and stuff. So I appreciate that, and you guys for broadcasting for doing a good job.
Harry Stewart, winner of the Neuropower Wisconsin Duel. Then we move to second place in the championship, Tim Ryan. Tim, this round didn't quite go your way, but still, you must be happy with a top 5 in the feature. Work your way up through the chaos nicely.
Yeah, I didn't realise how much was going on. I felt like I was everywhere in it. But yeah, happy to finish the season off, and yeah, just happy to take part in the series. Wasn't able to make last week, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I had absolutely no bearing on the championship, so probably just lucky that I had a bit of a gap to third. And yeah.
Yeah, well, it was really building up that gap to third that was the difference maker, wasn't it? Because, you know, Ethan was certainly a deserving champion this season, but you gave him a run for his money on multiple occasions.
Yeah, 100%. Ethan's easily probably who I think's my biggest competitor in the Australian landscape. He's super consistent. He's getting better as well. He's good at all the tracks. He's a pretty smart driver as well. Keeps his nose out of trouble, which as you saw is pretty important over a series like this. So yeah, very deserving winner, and he's only getting better, and good bloke as well. But yeah, this is a great series. I think it's going to be even bigger next year. So yeah, look forward to taking part. This is pretty much the only league that I do at the moment. So yeah, it's nice to come and do this every 2 weeks.
Yeah, certainly is, and it's a pleasure talking to you every 2 weeks as well, Tim. Is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out before we let you go?
Most importantly, you guys and everyone at ODSE for putting this on. It's a massive effort. Definitely our premier series in Australia. As I said, only do one league race the whole year type thing. So this is a big one to come and do, and I really enjoy doing it. It's obviously the pick of the bunch for me, which is why I come and do it. The competition level's really high. Obviously, I mentioned Ethan being who I'd say my biggest competitor is, but there's a lot of other consistent drivers in here as well, and some people that don't run every round, or especially sprint car drivers as well, like your Harry's, he's quite good, Brady, John Schultz even coming to third today. So yeah, it was a good series.
Certainly was. That's Tim Ryan there, second place in the championship for 2024, and finally here he is, the champion, the newly crowned champion of the Australian Sprintcar Championships by Oceanic Dirt Sim Events. It didn't quite end how you wanted, Ethan, but regardless, you did enough to secure the championship before the green flag even dropped for the feature.
Yeah, the race for me is a bit disappointed with how tonight went. Obviously, a bit of bad luck, but we've had heaps of good luck during the season, so I can't complain too much about that tonight.
This year compared to previous years, what do you think made the difference in terms of your pace and consistency?
Yeah, this being my rookie season, I think it's just about being around, Tim, Harry, all those guys up the front that, elevate my driving. I don't really have the opportunity, not last year at least, to race like Tim, Harry, obviously a fair amount. So just being around those guys, elevating my game. Obviously, I came on board with Colin, and Colin's really elevated not only my racecraft, but obviously he's elite at what he does on the setup side. So yeah, this has been a really good season. Probably nobody might have expected this, but yeah, I'm over the moon with it.
As you should be. It was a fantastic season. Anything that jumps out to you as a particular highlight?
Maybe USA, to be honest. Like I felt that was probably my most complete race. Like to start from the pole, obviously. Have Tim and Josh somewhat on pace there. I don't often have Tim on raw pace most nights, but my consistent ability to finish top 5 is probably why I'm talking to you now, and not second, obviously.
Well then, Ethan, there's obviously plenty of achievements you should be proud of this season, and we send our congratulations to you. You are the champion. Who got it done for you?
Yeah, I just want to thank my partners. Colin, obviously, already mentioned that. Obviously, Brady for putting this whole deal together. I know he does a lot of work in the background to make this whole thing happen. Same as Liam and Race Control. Obviously, yourselves at SimSpeed for broadcasting this whole year. Hopefully, we can elevate it next year. I want to thank all the race sponsors during the year, not only Neuropower and Tristan tonight, but everyone that chips in and sponsors this league. It's nice to be able to race for some money, and I think everyone looks forward to racing for a bit more next year, hopefully. And obviously my sponsors, Boca Field Sprint, District 23 Suspension Engineering, Pace Graphics, Joey Lingren Photography, Fun World Podcast, and all the Vortex guys for coming in, doing laps. I know Clayton, Joel, Harry, Brad, Darcy for coming in and doing laps every week. It really helps all of us, and I'm keen to see where the group goes next year.
Fantastic stuff, Ethan Winter. Thanks for joining us, mate, and enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you.
Congrats, Ethan. Good job.
Thank you.
Well, Brady, that's going to close things off for the season, and well, next year is looking even better. 2024 was big, 2025 is going to be bigger.
Yeah, Reece, it was definitely our biggest year so far. In terms of races in a season, we did 17. I was only thinking about it today. Last 2 years we've done 6-week blocks of just 360s, just 410s, and this year we mixed it up and used both cars throughout the season, and I think it provided a good challenge for every driver. But yeah, lots of big plans coming for 2025. Hopefully we can announce some stuff in the next few weeks, something pretty big, hopefully. We'll have to wait and see, but 2025, will be really big. We're looking stand about 18 rounds next year. Hopefully we'll have Houston Speedway coming to the service very soon as well, which will be really nice. And we'll do more 410 stuff next year because it seemed like the 410s probably put on a little bit better race than the 360s. So we're going to go to a more 410-centric schedule for next year.
All right, big news there. And obviously plenty more to come. Check out the ODSE socials, Oceanic Dirt Sim Events on Facebook for all of those updates. Thanks very much for joining us, Brady. It's been an honour once again to commentate this year of dirt racing in the AusNZ Sim community. Long may it continue.
Yeah, Reece, certainly. We're just getting started with this thing, and obviously, like I said, we took a big step this year to go to a more expanded schedule, and I think it was well received throughout the whole field. So, Qualify Series starts next week. We got 64 entries for that, which is nearly double what we had last year. So, should have plenty of more talent coming in. A big field, and hopefully more money on the line, which will be really good for the AusNZ Dirt community. But before I go, I just want to thank everyone that sponsored this series throughout the whole season. I've got a list of them here, so it'll be quite a while, but Australian Speedway Results, Cole Ferguson there, sponsoring the round at Charlotte, Damon Mulqueen, who also sits in race control, DM Cinematography, Isaac Ruse at Fast Print Signs and Apparel, Josh Barry at First Take Photography, also Chris Lacey at Sick Lids, Liam James at LCJ Commentary, Tristo Yelland obviously at Neuro Power, Joe Daly, Proso Finance, Sean Stevens at the YB Racing Team, Brad Minsel, who does a lot of work behind the scenes in race control as well, Loose Operations, and Brenton Pete Hobbs at Hobbs Trenchy and Borean, and obviously all our Synergy Sim Racing partners. Unfortunately, tonight didn't go too well for me. We're coming on all right mid-race there, but unfortunately DNF. But thanks to everyone at Synergy, Hobbo, JRS, Hayden, Davies, and all our sponsors too. And bring on 2025, boys.
Yeah, bring on 2025 indeed. That's Brady Baldwin there, the head administrator of Oceanic Dirt Sim Events. We want to thank you all for tuning in over the course of the season here on SimSpeed TV. Whether you come from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Kick, really happy to have you along and bring on 2025. It's going to be massive. I'm certainly going to be there, and hopefully you will be too. I'm Reece Gardner with Jay Kennedy alongside me in the comms box and producing behind the scenes here on SimSpeed TV. Ethan Winter is your 2024 ASC champion. Who will take the mantle next year? We'll just have to wait and see. See you next time.